Eyewitness News is bringing you in-depth coverage tonight on Rhode Island's Obamacare marketplace. Today, the head of Healthsource RI made an about-face from what we first reported last week. WPRI.com reporter Ted Nesi joins me in studio now. Ted, it was a huge surprise announcement last week. This is an equally surprising announcement this week.
Another surprise today, Steve. You know, when the governor put his budget out way back in January, he said no state funding would be needed for Healthsource RI, the state's Obamacare marketplace. Suddenly, last Thursday, they announced, no, we need $4.6 million. Now, just a few days later, never mind, we're back to $0 in state funding. And frankly, it's tough for lawmakers. They're only a few weeks away from settling a state budget. And that for almost $5 million, that's a significant thing to be going back and forth like this has been happening in recent days.
So what caused this change, you think?
But according to Christine Ferguson, who viewers saw there, the head of Healthsource RI, the federal officials who saw the news coverage of that sudden announcement that they needed $4 million were concerned because there's this growing debate in Rhode Island about just scrapping Healthsource RI altogether and going to healthcare.gov, the federal marketplace that, of course, had issues last year but is now working better. They don't want that at the federal level. Rhode Island is seen as a success story, and they want as many states as possible running their own marketplaces. So apparently, in a bid to sort of help politically Healthsource RI, they're saying, never mind, don't come up with the 4.6. You can use federal money for a bit longer.
Now, we've been covering that debate for a little while, going back and forth there. So can you kind of break down, I know you've been talking with the congressional delegation. What's all their take on this?
They're staying very cagey on this right now. You know, all four Democrats in Rhode Island's congressional delegation, Reed, Whitehouse, Langevin, Cicilline, all four of them have been strong supporters of the Affordable Care Act, of Obamacare, but they don't want to step on the toes, for the most part, of state lawmakers who have to make these final decisions about how to work this. The only one who's really stepping out in front on it is Senator Whitehouse, who said this could be a good investment, spending the money on the state-run marketplace because it could help drive huge changes in Rhode Island's healthcare system, which is now $8 billion a year Rhode Island spends on healthcare, according to Senator Whitehouse.
All right, thank you very much, Ted. So to wrap that up, Healthsource RI no longer needs any money from the state. You can
for this last year.
For this last year. Thanks, Ted, for that clarification. You can find more extended coverage about this story right now on WPRI.com. That includes the latest numbers on how many Rhode Islanders have used Healthsource RI and then signed up for the insurance since it opened.